Hi everybody. Who doesn't want financial freedom? After many years of reading about financial planning and learning from the greats, it all comes down to some really simple stuff. It's not even all the books that are out there on finances and how to make money and how to invest are probably redundant. There's really not so much that you need. And actually, what's really interesting is that Warren Buffett, who is one of the largest people on the planet, one of the richest people on the planet, he actually puts it really simply. He says, rule number one to getting and staying wealthy, and he's not the first or last super duper rich person to say this, is don't lose your money. And there's another rule. There's rule number 2. Can anyone guess what it is? That's right. Go back to rule number 1 and read it. Don't lose your money. So that means that there's really just only one rule. Well, from what I've read and having grown up in a financial planning, around a financial planning business where my parents raised me talking about money and in a positive way, thankfully, and having majored in economics in school, having been a book nerd and reading all this information, I realized that it's so easy. It's super easy. Just, put your money away, put it away quickly, put it away when you're young. If you are older, it doesn't mean that there's no hope. Because we are older, it just means keep doing the same thing. Again, put your money away and don't spend what you earn. Everybody knows this already, right? But so how can you do this? So there's actually, after a lot of research and time, I want to go back to Ray Dalio. So Ray Dalio holds the world's largest hedge fund, and yes, he is from the United States. His hedge fund, if you're interested, is actually closed to new investors. So I'm sorry, but what's really cool is that Ray Dalio has entered the 3rd stage of his life, which is, retirement. And he's a really cool person because even though his hedge fund is closed, and mind you, in order to invest in it, you would have to have several millions of dollars. But he has given away his secret as to how to build the wealth. So if you're interested in finding out, you can read Tony Robbins' book called Unshakable, where he interviews the greats, and he talks about how to balance your portfolio. And I know those words may sound scary, how to balance your portfolio, but it's outlined in really simple terms. That's how I have my retirement accounts. That's how I, ask and tell everyone to read and pay attention to. There's so many different ways to do it, but come on. Ray Dalio has the largest hedge fund in the United States and in the world, so I'm going to go with that. But anyway, my focus here is to just talk about how that's exactly what he does. So, he doesn't put all his money in the stock market. That just doesn't make sense. And with his history and the research he's done, what happens is if you put all your money in the stock market, well, then you might lose a lot of the money. And it's okay to lose some money in the stock market as long as you have other things that are making money, if that makes sense. So if you lose money in the stock market and only some of your money is there, then it won't be so bad, right? Versus you lose all of your money. And so guess how much money Ray Dalio suggests to put in the stock market out of your retirement money? You think it's more or less than 50%? If you guess less than 50%, you're right. So again, to find out more, I suggest read the book, Unshakable. And what is he doing? What is he doing to build wealth? Well, with his hedge fund, he actually has been able to do something nobody else has done, which is to beat the market. Yes. And along the history of the market, do you know what percentage the market has kept throughout the history of the market as far as investment returns is. Do you know? Anybody? Well, it's about 8%. And other companies claim that they can beat this, but they're not taking into consideration all the fees that they charge. So is that really realistic? Well, if you want to find out more, again, the book goes into it. I'm not here to talk about that, but I do want to tell you that he does focus on hedging, which is, again, the same thing that Warren Buffett says in very simple terms: don't lose your money. Now, I say that with a lot of excitement because it's like so simple, but I also want you to know that as simple as that sounds and as easy as that sounds, we don't always protect the assets that we do have, as as small as they may be. And so that's where I come in. That's where my company comes in. And I decided to focus on insurance for this reason, because I think with the majority of us who are the average Joe, we really can't afford to lose the little bit that we do have built. So a really simple way to do this is with insurance. And the wealthy people don't need insurance in the same way that the average Joe needs it, because if the wealthy people get into an accident, they have more than enough money to cover this accident, or if something happens in their life, it won't affect their lifestyle. But I know from experience, having lost a parent at a young age, that something as much as losing the income for a family really can affect that family for life. So this is why I decided to focus on insurance, so that I can help other people that were in the same situation as me. And so did I know that this would happen to my family? Of course not. We were, like I explained to you before, we were probably better off than the average family, and yet it still really affected our family when one of my parents passed away, leaving us in a single family home for many years after, and actually living a life of struggle. So my message to you is there's a way to prevent it, and it's the smart decision to make those steps necessary to do this. So my name is Marina, and I'm happy to share with you today the secrets from the rich and how to keep your money and keep your family safe and happy and without hardship. Have a great day. Happy Monday. See you next time.